Hi, everyone. I'm here to share an outline of the story of my entire adult life to date. This is because I believe it provides powerful confirmation of the incredible significance of the upcoming April Rapture watch season that we're so excited about. And once you see this, I think you are going to agree. As I saw it, I began to be an adult when I graduated high school and got my first full-time job. I grew up in a homeschooling Seventh-day Adventist family in Tennessee and finished high school by passing the GED test. This test I began studying for intensively in April and then passed in early May of 2005. Not long thereafter, I began my first full-time job in a carpentry shop. The 7 years following were all about college and graduate school. I was an ambitious and successful student, but for most of these years I was spiritually confused, lukewarm, and even rebellious. But in late 2009, the Lord began to really get through to me about what it meant to surrender all to Him, and just how necessary this was. Yet it was not until late 2011 that everything in my life, to the best of my knowledge, was fully surrendered to God. And only then did I begin to experience a fully blessed and supernatural life. About that same time, I heard the Lord calling me to prioritize Christian ministry, not career, going forward. The Lord led me to leave the graduate program I was in, move, take a humble job tutoring, and begin writing the book I had in mind. Today, I don't remember the specific dates of any events that took place in my life in 2012, except for one. I only know that on April 12 of 2012, I changed my Google profile image to one of a church in a field of purple flowers. Though this was a small act, it meant so much to me at the time. I saw this act as the official commencement of my personal outreach ministry. And for the next 7 years, I remained a full-fledged Seventh-day Adventist, maintaining weekly attendance at Seventh-day Adventist churches and passionately pursuing personal ministry projects within its worldview and organization. I felt my mission was to call lukewarm and or rebellious SDAs, as I had been, to fully surrender to God and fully believe, both mentally and practically, all that He had for them, including all the teachings of the SDA prophet Ellen White. Please note that the exact center of these 7 years of SDA ministry was October 12, 2015, which was exactly 1/3 of the way through my wife and I's marriage process that year. We were married first in a private courtroom wedding on September 4, 2015, and later completed our marriage process with the main wedding before friends and family on December 27, 2015. How I came to leave the Seventh-day Adventist Church and understanding is a rather big story. The full process of this departure spanned between 2019 and 2020. For our purposes here, I want to just point out the main date of departure. April 12, 2019, contained the beginning of a Saturday Sabbath observed as holy by SDAs. On that day, my immediate family and I officially became non-denominational Christians. That particular Sabbath was the first one I ever observed as the head of a family home church. Later, my wife and I would come to drop the observance of Saturday Sabbaths, but my point here is that April 12, 2019 began our first Sabbath since we decided to leave the Seventh-day Adventist denomination and completely cease attending their churches. Staying home from church that Sabbath felt very different than it ever had before. Of course, following this, my priority of personal ministry over career continued unchanged. So the following 7 years have been years of non-denominational home church ministry. And as it happened, right in the middle of these 7 years, my wife and I began intensively watching for the rapture to happen. Our very first intensive rapture watch date was Feast of Trumpets 2022. So clearly, the 7 + 7 + 7 years of my adult life very elegantly add up to our much anticipated April watch season this year. Extremely exciting as we see it. If you want to see another major way in which 777 in my life points to the rapture this April, see the last main video I posted, as well as the short I posted yesterday. I was going to end the video here, but then it occurred to me to wonder about the 7 years before my adult life began. Amazingly, these commenced with my first baptism on April 11, 1998, and the midpoint of these years was just days after the September 11 trade tower attacks. So there we have it. My entire born-again life will be exactly 7 times 4 years old as of the center of our much-anticipated April watch season this year. Just incredible. See you in the next video. God bless.